All right. Good evening, everybody. Good evening, and welcome to this evening's internet marketing training call. And as always, we are going to start by taking any questions you might have about your internet marketing business, anything that you were trying to do that you'd like to just get some insight on what we can help you with. And I do have a few things that I'm going to do prepared, but certainly, though, it's a lot better if we start with any questions you might have. I do have on the screen where some of you're already getting this pretty much on an everyday basis. You want to make sure that you are getting the the animated video download on a daily basis. You can use that in your business any way that you want. So I think I have there on when you get there, there are some tools that if you need to download that, you want to download that video, you can download that to your hard drive, and I'm giving you the rights to use it any way you see fit. So if you want to sell it, you can sell it. Um, if you want to use it as content, you can do that. However you want to use it, it is free for yours to use. Free animated video download. Okay, are there any questions? Hey, good evening, Dr. Faye. Any questions? Why don't we start by telling me what you're working on? So if you do that, just right here in the question box, what is it that you are working on right now? And is maybe the first part of the question. The second part of the question that I'd like for you to write into the box is what, if anything, is keeping you from moving forward on it. So if there's anything stopping you, there's something that you don't know, something that you haven't been able to figure out. So first, what are you working on right now? What is your internet marketing project? What are you trying to do? What are you engaged in order to generate an income online? That's question one. Question two is what, if anything, is holding you? What is if is there something that you don't have? Is there a tool you don't have? Is there some knowledge that you haven't gained? What is it that you may or may not have right now that you'd like to put to the side that will get you going? So write that right there in the question box, if you would. Let me know what it is that you're doing. What are you working on? What's your project? What are you trying to get in motion? What are you attempting to put into play for your marketing business? And then secondly, what if anything is holding you back? And one of the things that we're going to be doing for those of you who are involved in the Entrepreneur Mandate, I've got a real treat. We're going to be, my wife and I, and actually my daughters also, we're going to be working to deliver that. We're going to deliver that. We're going to deliver that content in our. We are going to plan a seminar here in Harrisburg for October, and we're going to be sharing everything in the advanced group. So we're going to tonight. I'm going to post my meetup group. Prior to this, I haven't really, I just haven't been showing it. So I'm going to put that in there, and you're just going to follow me through. You're going to follow us through this whole process. So we're not sure how it's going to work out. We're going to be, I think, looking to price it at $97. So feel free, those of you who are in the Entrepreneur Mandate group, that you're going to follow along. Okay. Okay, great. Okay, so Danita asks, Denitra, okay, let's say if I buy PLR from JVZoo, how can I market it in the same place? And so this question is it's a common one. So what will keep you from proceeding? And that's a great question. Well, there are a couple of things that you can do. And inside of JVZoo, you now I guess my first question is, have you ever sold in? Do you have a JVZoo account? Have you ever sold anything? So have you generated income as an affiliate? Have you done anything in the way of being able to say that you've had some stats at JVZoo? That's my first question. Second thing is, I'm going to take this down. We're going to start. We're going to kind of get into this now. And let's see. I'm going to minimize this. And let's kind of go to JVZoo. And what we're going to do here is I'm going to go inside of one of my JVZoo accounts. So if you just hang on for 1 second here, I'm going to go inside of one of my JVZoo accounts, and we're just going to go through the process here. And for those of you, if you're just coming in, and there's nothing wrong with your audio right now, what I'm doing is I've got to open up JVZoo. And I'm doing that in, I'm going to do that right now in my daughter's account here. Okay. All right. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to go inside of here. Okay. So you haven't sold anything yet. No worries. Okay. We're going to go to the seller's dashboard. And all we really need to do inside of JVZoo is to add a product. Right now, that's going to be step one. Now, the next step is going to be that you're going to give your product a name, right? You're going to give your product a name. For your product should be unique, right? You probably don't want to name it the very same thing that you did when you purchased the PLR product, right? So if you want to use JVZoo, you can certainly do that. Now, I guess there are a couple of questions that I would ask you. That are you planning on recruiting affiliates? Right, that's one thing. So are you planning on recruiting affiliates and doing upsells? Right. So if you're planning on doing upsells, certainly to your advantage, use JVZoo. If you're not doing upsells, you're not recruiting affiliates, then JVZoo is probably not even necessarily something that you have to do. But let's say that you are. Let's say that you are going to want to recruit affiliates, and or you are going to want to do upsells and downsells. First thing that you're going to do when you get a PLR product, if you're going to put it in pretty much as you buy it, you want to make sure the product name is unique. Right. So, and then the second thing is the product price, right? So the product price is going to be whatever you price it. Now, if you're going to be recruiting affiliates, of course, that's not going to affect whether or not you've got the same product as someone else has got one out there. All of this is pretty much going to be the same. Now, your sales page URL, obviously, you're going to choose a domain name that is going to be unique to you. But that is kind of close to the product. And unless someone's searching for the product and they're going to be using the domain name, that's not going to affect you. So you can still do that on JVZoo. Now, the other thing is that, all of this information here, that's for when you'd be talking to affiliates. And probably the key factor is going to be you want this product to appear in the marketplace. So in other words, when people search the marketplace, you want them to be able to find it. And so you're going to want to make sure that your description is such that people can find it in the marketplace and buy it from you, depending on what they're looking for. So if the product is going to be on YouTube, right, they go and search for YouTube or products on YouTube advertising. You want to make sure that you have those keywords in your buyers. Now, the categories may or may not help you. The other thing that's going to help you, if you're going to try to make sure that you're going to be found in the when somebody does a search in the marketplace, is that your keywords. And so you want to make sure that you have popular keywords that people are going to be searching for. Major keywords: WordPress, YouTube, video marketing. Major keywords. You don't want to have really long tail, really exclusive keywords for your product. You want the maximum amount of people to get it, to find it in the search, and then for them to be able to take a look and see what it is that you have to offer. Now, the question is, I think, can you do this? In other words, if I have a PLR product and I know other people are going to be offering the same way, can I also offer that PLR product? And as far as I know, the answer is yes. Now, what's going to happen is that when you actually put your product up for sale, JVZoo is going to do a review. And when JVZoo does a review, they'll say yay or nay. But for the most part, I haven't seen anything in JVZoo that would indicate to me that you cannot post a PLR product in there. I've seen plenty of them. And I've seen people use mine. I've seen people use others where all they're really doing is really slapping a buy button on there. The most important thing is that your product name, which is right here, and your description, both of those are unique, and that your keywords are going to be those that are going to be findable for people who are going to be looking for products in the marketplace. Right now, typically, when you get a product like that, you can't, if you buy a PLR product, you can't pass on PLR. Sometimes you can pass on resale rights, right? Or you can either pass on resale rights or master resale rights. You can put that in your description, right? But typically, you're not going to get master resale rights and PLR rights, if that makes any sense. Okay, does that answer your question, Denitra? Okay, and then while she gets back to me there, are there any other questions? Any other questions? So anybody else that you're trying to do something is holding you back, and you just want to know the answer to it so that you can kind of move forward. Maybe it's something that you feel like is so technical that you just haven't been able to do it. What is, again, if you write in the question box or the chat box, the answer to the question, number one, what project are you working on in order to generate income? And number two, what, if anything, is a bottleneck? What's stopping you right now from really kind of moving forward on it and getting it to make money for you? Like, so what do you think is really in your way? What's in your way right now? Right? Okay, so while you do that, one of the things that I do want to talk about here is I do want to talk about what I said yesterday. One of the things I was going to do is I was going to talk a little bit about reverse engineering, right? Reverse engineering. And I am going to talk about that tonight. I'm going to close up some of these things here. And one of the things that you want to be in the habit of doing is that when you see something that you probably would like to buy, or you like the way the process worked when it was selling to you, you want to take a look to see if you can reverse engineer the business model. And there are a couple of sites that will give you insight on what it is that you need to know in order to create or add to your offer, right? So when you go to the marketplace with an offer, it's going to be rare that if a product is in the same category as you have, you want to go there with less, right? You always want to try to go to the marketplace, and this is whether you're known or unknown. You want to try to go there with more than is currently being offered. Now, I'm going to go to the Warrior Forum right now, and as I've said to you before, and this is a general categorization, so don't take this as gospel, and you're certainly going to find exceptions to this. For the most part, the offers on the WSO forum tend to be courses teaching people how to make money online. So people, the tendency is not necessarily to sell software and resources. So, but you can go to the WSO board, and what you want to do is you want to go inside of the Warrior Special Offers section. And if you want to make more money online, right, you want to start looking at the offers here so that you want to make sure that your offer doesn't have any less than they do, right? So let's say that you're going to do a product here on CPA marketing, and I'm going to put in here CPA marketing. Now, the search feature is not all that robust. I don't necessarily love the search feature in Warrior Forum, but it is going to give us enough information. So what's going to happen here? Okay, I've got CPA and CPA marketing. And what I want to look at on his side here is I want to look at the Warrior special offers. And I want to look at the ones that have really sold, right? And so what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to figure out what do I need to have in my offer? What's the minimum I need to have? What is it that's going to help my offer to sell to people who want to make more money online? Now, I'm going to launch my product here on the Warrior Forum. You definitely want to make sure you understand what's happening on the Warrior Forum, right? So now let's say that I'm looking to launch a product on CPA marketing. So I want to start looking at some of these products that are CPA marketing oriented, right? So here's one that CPA, copy me step by step to finally profit from CPA marketing. And so we're going to go inside of here. Okay, now I'm looking at this product, and one of the first things I want to do is, okay, I'm looking at the copy, right? So the copy isn't all that fancy. The other thing I want to do is I want to see how long this person's been a part of the Warrior Forum. Now, that doesn't necessarily tell me anything. Doesn't necessarily tell me how long this person's been doing internet marketing. It just tells me how long they've been on the Warrior Forum. Okay, so they're putting out a CPA product. So I'm checking out the copy. Okay, so the copy doesn't have to be, the copy is apparently not laid out super professionally, right? So he's got some content in here, and whoa, it's $197. Okay, so this is a $197 offer, right? So so more than likely, this person, you'd want to know this person is known. He's got some questions and answers here. And you can see here, people are going to come and they're going to ask you, right? They're going to start asking you questions, right? And so what the gentleman's doing, he's answering the questions as they come. Right now, I don't know how many he sold. It's not going to necessarily be easy, but what we can do is we can go into the Warrior Marketplace. Right, so let's take a step back here. And we're going to go into the Warrior Special Offers. And we're going to go to Earn as an Affiliate. Okay, so what I want to do here is I want to find out, I want to start looking at some of the products that are selling here for affiliates. Right, specifically, I like to see if I can find the one I just saw. Let's see, CPA Surefire. You know, there are some offers that are here. Not too many of these are in the Warrior Marketplace. Now, one of the things that I can see, though, is I can see, let's say, here's one that sold 50 copies, had a pretty low refund rate, paid an 80% commission. Now, this might be, if I want to do a CPA marketing product, I might want to check this one out to see what it is. Right? Let's check this out. So they've got this on the Warrior Forum, and they've sold over 50 copies. Okay, so in terms of copywriting, okay, it doesn't have to be anything special. Now, the price was at $2.97. Okay, but it's still what he's done is he's probably got 50 new leads that paid him $3, right? So this is something that if you have something, you can definitely do. Now, I'm not even promising that you're going to make 50 sales, but anybody can get on the Warrior Forum and put up a product that has this amount of copy and then answer the questions. what happens is when you post your offer on the Warrior Forum, people who are searching for it and people who are looking for make money online offers will see it, right? Until your offer goes to the back page. But basically what I'm showing you is how can I go and find out what needs to be in my offer, right? I can go to the Warrior Forum. If I have a make money online product, I can go inside of the Warrior special offers area, and I can go inside of the Warrior marketplace to see how something is selling. And then I want to make sure I've got a little more than what they have. Because everybody with me so far? Now, the next thing I want to do is, let's say that I want to go and I might be looking at products that are a little more, that might have more than just make money online. So I'm going to go inside of Warrior Plus. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the marketplace as an affiliate. Because what I want to see is I want to see whether or not, I want to see if their product is going to have more or less than mine. Okay, so I'm going to go right in here. I'm going to check out the offers. And then I'm just going to put in my keyword. My keyword is CPA. I'm going to search. Okay, so I'm going to get all these products that are CPA related. Okay, this one is sold 500 copies. This one sold 3,000 copies. This one sold 2,000 copies. So what I want to do now is I want to see what the ones that are selling a lot of copies. I want to see what they have. What are these products about? Right? Is mine going to be basically the same thing? Is it going to be more than that? Is mine going to be better or worse? What's the copy like? So let's take a look at the sales page. Okay. So this is just a basic sales page. They've got a Warrior Plus buy button on there. Right? Copywriting is okay. But what they're doing is they're really giving you social proof. Right? So what they're saying is, if you want to do this the way I'm doing it, then you need to buy this product. Right? And remember, if you were on any of my calls before, you know, one of the things that I've said to you in the past is that if you've done anything and you've had any results, right, making money online, it's going to be easier than for you to sell an information product. So if you've ever snagged a client, if you have ever sold anything, if you have been able to generate a specific, a lot, quite a bit of traffic, if you've been able to build a following, those are the results that you want to go to the Warrior Forum or Warrior Plus with and put that into your WSO. Right? All you're doing when you're putting together a product is you're capturing your own expertise. Okay, so this gentleman has he's got some testimonials. And if he's selling 500 copies, he's probably got some affiliates. So all you're doing is you're going to say, okay, what are people buying in the marketplace? Right? You may not have all the affiliates in the world right now. You may not have all those things, but you want to make sure at the very least, at the start, that your product is not going to kind of go and just fall there and just die because you don't have enough in it. You do want to make sure that you've got in it the things that people are buying. Right? Here's a little graphic, right? Those of you who have eCover Authority, you can do that. This is your basic sales page. Now, we're going to go one step further, right? Now, how many of you all, and you don't have to, the answer does not have to be yes. How many of you like the sales page, right? So if you like the sales page, we can do a couple of things. First thing we can do is we're going to look at the source code. Now, this may be a little too geeky for some of you, but it will help you. We're going to go, and I'm going to go to more tools. I'm going to go developer tools. And all I'm going to do here is I just want to see what they're using in order to build their page, right? Okay, so basically, this person is just using a basic sales page. Right now, how many of you all want to know? How many of you all see this countdown clock right here? Well, see, they're using Countdown 2, right? Which is an app for countdown clocks. You know, I'll show it to you. Countdown 2. I might even have an account there. Now, the question will be whether or not I can get in there. Let's see. See, there is a countdown, and yeah, and I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure I have this app someplace. I probably can't find it right now, but any can use an app in order to do that, and you find that out by looking at the source code, right? So I can see that here, and anything else. Okay, so how are they doing their sales videos? They've got them embedded from YouTube. You can see that here. They've got some statistics going here using InStream and Google. What's not Google AdWords, but the statistics. Oh, my brain is counting down on me here. What is it? The Google site that gives a statistic. I don't know. My brain is failing. Google Stats website. Google Analytics. Okay, so they're using Google Analytics, right? So they've got Google Analytics on here. So you can see just about everything in here that the person has in order to make this sheet, right? So you can pretty much get this template. You can get the Google Analytics. That's right. Thank you, Dana. Oh, what's wrong with my brain today? Okay, so they've got an index page here. They've got YouTube videos on here, and if you wanted to, you could even look up the source code. You can see that here, right? I could take all that source code and I could put that into an HTML document. Now, obviously, I would not have the images, but I could do that, right? If I just wanted to have the layout and I wanted to have all of the content, I wanted to start over by writing my own, I could do that with all of this content. Right, all that from this sales page, and that's reverse engineering the sales page. Now, again, I realize that might be taken a little too far, a little geeky, but again, you can reverse engineer every single thing about something else that's already selling, right? And you want to be able to do that so that when you get ready to put together your offer, get ready to put together your sales page, you'll know that at the very least you've got in there at the minimum what you should have. Right, at minimum, what you should have. All right, are there any questions so far? Right, we just took an example. We took CPA marketing, and we just took a look at one offer to reverse engineering. And you can do this inside of any niche. And if your niche is going to be involved, making money online, then you want to be looking at the Warrior Forum. You want to be looking at Warrior Plus. Now, I'm going to show you one more place that you want to take a look at. It's really going to give you a lot of information, and you can do this really in any JV site. This is where you really kind of where you're going to be able to reverse engineer a launch, right? You're going to be able to reverse engineer a launch. So we're going to go to muncheye.com, right? So we're going to go to muncheye.com, and so here's what you see here. Right, and some of this you're going to recognize because you're getting emails about this stuff, right? Video Cash Console, video promo pages was released today. CPA Profit Explosion at $7. So let's take a look at. I'm not promoting this time. Let's take a look at Ultimate Video Toolkit. So if you were going to launch a product in the video production area, right, or video assets, we can take a look to see what your offer needs to look like at minimum, and we can do that at muncheye.com. And what we're going to do here is I'm going to go to the JV page. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and opt in. Right, I'm going to go ahead and opt in here. Okay. Now we can tell this is what it's going to have in it. Right now, this is the sales funnel. So in other words, this is what the sales funnel is going to look like. Now, if you don't, again, now if you were in the 30-day challenge, you know, if you don't have a sales funnel, you're leaving money on the table, right? Because what's going to happen is not everybody's going. Some people are going to come in and buy on the front end, right? They're going to give some to the affiliates. They're going to give 60% to the affiliates, and you could give 100% to the affiliates, right? Now, when you see this sales funnel, does it make sense as to why you give 100% to affiliates? I know I got that question before. Why would I give 100% of affiliates or even 60% if I had this funnel? What would be the rationale if you look at it? Anybody jump in and tell me. Okay, you're looking at the sales funnel. Tell me why it makes sense for me to give 100% to 60 to 100% to affiliates. Okay, anybody can answer. So if I'm obviously going to want to have affiliates bring me traffic, but why does it make sense to give away as much as I can to the affiliates? And the answer, right? The answer is right in front of you, right? Because the affiliates are going to actually bring the people through my marketing funnel. Right, exactly. So you're doing two things. You're building your list, and what kind of list? Dr. Faye, good. Let's qualify that. What kind of list am I building? Right, Julie, exactly. What kind of list? Good, I agree. I agree. What kind of list am I building? Ralph, yep, I agree. What kind of list? What kind of list is this when the affiliates bring me traffic and they bring me buyers? Right. So, okay. Right. Promotion. Agree. The affiliates. Okay. Right. That's exactly right, Rhonda. I want to sell more in the back end. But remember, I'm going to give the affiliates 100% sometimes. In this case, they're giving the affiliates 60%. But I could still be convinced to give. Okay. Right. Exactly. Vern. It's a buyer's list. So you know these people that are coming. Right. Okay. These folks that are buying, right, are interested in buying video products. So what I want to do is with my first upsell, I want to make sure this first upsell, a buyer's list, exactly. I want to make sure the first and second upsell are so closely tied to the front end that it's a no-brainer to buy, right? I want to make sure that it's additional value, right, that they're getting 10 times the value. And then I also want to make sure that what they're getting is that something that they really do need and can really use in order to make money. And so I don't mind giving the affiliates 100% because I'm giving 100% of $17, right? But hopefully, if I can convert 20% of those buyers into an upsell 1 and upsell 2, I'm still going to earn money, right? So notice the price progression, and when you do this, if you're going to do this with your product, what I would say is that you have to make sure that the upsells are very closely tied to that front end. So in other words, they should be a logical extension. I personally like the idea of your first upsell being something that's DFY. In other words, it's template oriented. It's something that gives people the opportunity to get involved with whatever you gave them on the front end quickly, right? That is my personal preference, and that is what I think you should be doing. But as long as it is related, closely related to the front end, you're in good shape, right? So what we're doing, we're coming to Muncheye, and we're looking at different business because we want to make sure that we have if you're going to launch a video assets product, what have you just learned you have to have? At least 2 upsells, right? If you're going to come to the marketplace, the first thing you know, if you come to the marketplace and you're going to come at a $37 price point on the front end, you're probably too high, right? You already know that. So the market's going to dictate the pricing. You're probably better off making sure you're giving enough value to come in at between $9 and $17, as opposed to trying to come in on the front end at $37. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't come in on $37. It's just that if you're going to offer this kind of product, coming in at higher than $27 is going to be hard. So what you're doing in every case when you go into a market is you want to take a look first at the Warrior form, right? We just did that. We want to take a look at Warrior Plus, right? We just did that. We want to take a look at Muncheye, right? Let's go back here, Muncheye. We want to take a look at Muncheye, and then we want to take a look at the individual JV page. And really then we have everything we need to know in terms of what needs to be in our product as we're selling it. Now, if you are on the 30-day challenge, one of the things that I suggested that you do is that you put together your sales materials first, right? Sales materials first, then go back and create your product. Now, why do I say that? Does everybody now understand why I say that? So in other words, you're going to launch a product and you want to make sure that it's going to sell. So you need to go to the marketplace first and determine what needs to be in your product at minimum. And then you go back and create the product because you know the marketplace is buying it. Does that make sense now? Does everybody understand what I'm saying when I say that? Because if you go through the process of creating this product and the marketplace isn't buying it, and it doesn't have the minimum amount that other products like it have, it's not going to sell, and affiliates aren't going to promote it. Right? Is that making sense? So what you want to do now, you want to. One of the things I strongly suggest is that you come to Muncheye and other sites like this. You put your sales material together, you put your JV page together, and you commit to a date. When you commit to a date, what's going to happen is you're going to do what's necessary, even if you don't have any JVs to promote you. Right? You need to post your project here. Post the project here, and then when you do that, what's going to happen is you're going to commit to finishing by a specific date, so that number one, if you do have affiliates, you're going to be able to fulfill on what they're looking for. Number two, you're going to finish. Okay, any questions on reverse engineering? Okay, so these are the sites that are going to help you to reverse engineer. Now, obviously, you can also go to JVZoo. JVZoo is okay for reverse engineering, right? And I would almost say you could leave that one until last, but JVZoo will give you some information, right? So let's say I want to go to JVZoo. And what I want to do, what I like to do inside of JVZoo is that I like to go inside of the find products. Okay, then what I like to do is now immediately JVZoo is going to sort by who sold the most, right? So these are the best selling products in the history of JVZoo. Now, if you've never looked at those products, you've never looked at their stuff, you never looked at their sales pages, you never looked at their marketing funnels, you never looked at anything, this is a lesson in and of itself, right? You want to take a look at what product sells 56,000 copies? That's worth your time. What product sells 30,000 copies? That's worth your time, right? It's worth your time to find out what products are selling at that much, because it might tell you what you need to create next, right? Does that make sense? Is everybody with me on that? Okay. What kinds of products are selling at that rate? This product sold 9,000 copies. You want to know what is that? How did they put it together? Here's an information product. So 6,500 copies on the front end. Right? What is it that did that? So you can go through here, and this is an education for you just to find out what is it. Take a look at their sales pages. Take a look at their funnel. Right? Take a look at what caused people to want to buy these products, because again, even if what you're doing is you're creating an information product, you can create an information product based on the interest that people have in this stuff. Okay. Okay. Let's just take a step back here. Okay. I don't even have all my full stats in here for Animation Jumpstart, but how did I know people would be interested in Animation Jumpstart? I knew that based on what, well, I know people are interested in that. And it's not because I'm really smart. It's really because the evidence is already here. There's some things that I try to be creative on, right? But other things, there's no reason to be creating on. You want to give people what they already want and what they're already interested in. And you can do that when you go to the marketplace and you find out what's selling. And that really is what JVZoo is good for. Right? Any other questions? Okay, on reverse engineering, on really taking a look at these marketplaces to try to determine what it is you're going to create. Now, again, one of the things that we talked about in last night's call is that how many of you all now, the number of you that are doing affiliate marketing, a number of you are doing affiliate marketing, right? And I'll tell you what happens to you as an affiliate, because it happens to me. It has happened to me. Doesn't happen quite nearly as much now, right? And I'm going to tell you why it doesn't. It's because basically one of the things I'm looking at every day is this, right? Now and some things I would never trouble the people in my community and people who read my emails with some of this stuff, right? Not because I think I'm better than the product creators. It's just, I'm just not going to promote everything. But if I see something that I think will really be a benefit, I'm going to take the time to really get ready and understand it and study it. I might call these people and find out, hey, can I take a look at this thing before I mail? Now, I might not be you know, I might not be as big as some of the other affiliates, but I still will ask to see, can I see this? Well, I want to see what I'm going to be looking at. I want to take a look at it. If possible, I'd like to use it, right? Before I start thinking about whether or not I'm going to promote it to people in my own community. But I'm going to be taking my time, and I'm going to find out well before launch date. Launch date's not gonna catch me, and it doesn't need to catch you with where you're putting together a bonus page. It's cool, it works, but you're leaving money on the table by not getting out when the launch starts, right? So the key to doing this is understanding the product, understanding how it benefits the people that are in your community, and then preparing something for them that would, first of all, help them in order to enjoy the product purchase better, and then also giving them incentive to buy, right? And so you do that when you have time to prepare. If you don't have time to prepare, you're not going to do it, right? And I can tell you, and I don't have a way of drawing this, but a launch's stats go a little bit like, I don't know how to illustrate this. Now, one thing that you want to know about a launch, right? If you're going to promote as an affiliate, right? First of all, you should be picky about what you promote. Don't promote everything that comes down the pike. Seriously. You know, and don't ever feel like you owe anybody anything, even if they promote you. You do not want to get into that game, right? If somebody wants to promote your product, let them promote it. But coming back to you and saying, well, you promoted me, I promoted you, you got to promote me, doesn't work like that. Not if you want to have some integrity with the people in your community. Now, you know, again, okay, and I understand that's my bias. So, you know, that's not gospel what I just told you. I'm just telling you what I think. Don't get into playing that game. So, okay, so now here's what these stats say. This stat says that this product converts at 5%, but that's not the whole story, right? The whole story is that here's how a launch goes. And I can't show you, but I'm going to try to show you with my mouse that, okay, so day one, a launch is kind of, the sales are up here. Okay, day two, sales are here. Okay, day three, sales are here. Day four, sales are probably going to be here. That's just the way a launch goes. Now, the average is going to be the conversion rate. This is going to average into whatever the conversion rate is. So even if you see a great conversion rate and you think, well, you know what, I promoted this product and I sold about 13% myself, which is fantastic. It's fantastic if you participated in the launch over 4 days, right? You're probably not going to beat the average. Right. So if the average, if the product promotes at 13 to 14%, that's probably what you're going to get to. Now, here's the key to understanding being an affiliate, folks. I am dead serious. This day, you're going to get higher than average conversions. Right. This day, you're going to get lower than average conversions. So if you come and you start promoting on this day, what you've missed is this day when conversions were the highest. So you got to have your bonus page ready as an affiliate on this day. Now, you can still make money on this day and this day. Not saying that you won't. But this day, what you're getting is you're getting the boost that comes with everybody else promoting, and you're getting the buzz that goes with that. And conversions are never going to be higher than the first day of a launch when someone is doing a coordinated launch with a lot of affiliates. So understanding what's happening on Muncheye is pretty important as an affiliate. So I was talking to you today as a product creator. I've kind of switched gears by telling you that as an affiliate, you want to make sure you know what's on this calendar. And you don't want to get, okay, so if this is going out, let's say I'm a CPA marketer, right? My list is CPA marketers. And I know this thing is coming out on the 18th. Well, I don't want to be putting together my bonus page on the 17th or the 18th, getting ready to mail out. Now, again, I used to do that. I used to do that until I understood this. Right? And there's nothing personal about this. This is just the way it is. You will never, this is a day you will never get back. Right? So if you're going to promote as an affiliate, you need to be when they open the gates, or really and truly, if you're promoting as an affiliate and there's an early bird, like right here, let's say there's an early bird. You need to be on the early bird before the launch starts, if you can. Again, conversions will never be higher, and typically it is what we call in economics an opportunity cost. It's a missed opportunity if you do not promote on this day when commissions are going to be, when sales are going to be at the highest and people are going to be the most hyped about buying something. Again, I'll tell you what happens to most people. What happens is you see the money you get here and you're happy. Right? You think, wow, man, I made $100 as commissions, which is great. Right? And again, I'm not saying you should be dissatisfied with that. All I'm saying is that if you came in here and you made $100, you'd have made a lot more if you'd have been ready when the doors open. Okay, so I kind of went sideways a little bit with that, but are there any questions? Any questions at all about what we covered tonight? Okay, for those of you who still have not picked up the 30-day challenge, it is still available. That is in the offer window. You definitely want to go ahead and get it while it is still priced where it is. It's eventually going to be going up to where it should be. But for people who are coming to my webinars and for my subscribers, that price is for you right now. So again, go ahead and pick up the 30-day challenge content. Comes with private label rights, so you can create your own products with it and do just about with it what you need to help to build your business. Right, and again, I'm going to put the link in here also with that the 30-day challenge also. All right, are there any questions? Okay, any questions at all? Okay, everybody. Well, that is it until next week. And other than that, I will be seeing you then. And the replay, I hope to have out late night tonight. Right, so I'm going to send that replay out tonight. And I'll send out along with that the PLR content download to you. And if I don't get around to it, it'll be in my regular mailing for tomorrow. Yep, there is a replay, Vern. Yep, there will be a replay. I hope to get it out tonight. If I can't get it out tonight, it'll definitely be tomorrow morning. Okay, everybody. Well, thank you very much. Oh, you're welcome, Dana. Thank you very much, everybody. Glad that you were here. Certainly hope that this was helpful to you. And I will see you in next week. Have a great night and a pleasant tomorrow. Take care.